Then they started finding out about foodstuffs and other things, but I'm going to get to that when I'm talking about trade. This thing I've got here is called a shield. Now this is a physical shield. I've actually shot one of these with a 32 caliber flintlock rifle on a little bit of an angle, and it bounced off. This is made of, it's called taha. It's rawhide. Taha safe is leather, but taha is the rawhide, and it usually comes from the neck of a bull buffalo. When you take it off that buffalo, it's 3/4 of an inch thick. They build a fire on the ground and they cover it with dirt and they stake that buffalo hide down over it, and it shrinks. It pulls the stakes right out of the ground, and it shrinks up, and as it shrinks, it gets thicker. So it can be as thick as an inch or an inch and an eighth thick. I've shot these with my bow, which one day I was playing with it, and I shot 2 bales of hay held up by a 2x6, and I missed the top of that bale of hay and hit the 2x6. When I got there, the arrow on this side had shattered, but on the other side, there was 6 inches of arrow sticking out of the back of that 2x6. Now that's a big impact. So somebody say it. Bunch of white people. This is a ceremonial pipe. The white men called it a peace pipe because that's the only time they ever saw it. When they were having the peace councils, the Indians bring out their pipe and they would have a smoke because that's part of the ceremony. Everything about a pipe is ceremony. There are all kinds of ceremonies, not just peace, but there's war, birth, death, weddings, anything to have a ceremony. There's actually one when you move your house from one place to another. And these are nomads, so they did that a lot. But once they moved it, they would go into the teepee and have a smoke. And it was just a short little 4-minute deal that you did to say, this is where I'm going to live now, please bless this spot. It's a nothing little ceremony, but without the pipe, you lose that. It's an incredibly important thing. In 1818, a fellow named George Catlin, an artist, supposedly was the first white man to see the quarry. So from that day on, they called it Catlinite because of George Catlin. But it's a soapstone, and everybody knows when you see that red